I recently made a video about how I think we are entering, or are currently in, a Terminator video game renaissance. I didn't think that having Terminator Resistance would then lead to more Terminator titles coming down like this, like we honestly have today and coming soon. Back in the 90s and around then when we had the films, it kinda made sense for more Terminator games to be coming out. But now we haven't had a new film in a long time. We did have that Netflix show that everyone keeps telling me to watch, but this mostly flew under the radar. No real big splashes when it comes to Terminator shows or even movies. But oddly enough, within the gaming space, we have a lot to look forward to and currently play. There was a listing that was shown a while ago for a new Terminator game, but no information other than the title was provided. So I spent a chunk of my prior video talking about the potential for it, and then at the same time a new trailer dropped for that game, and my video was already outdated. So it goes when doing YouTube, but I'm glad the trailer did drop. I think because we got something really good to look forward to.
My name's Mike Tucker. I'm the designer programmer of TTD, and it's a love letter, I guess, to 80s, 90s arcade games, and we feel like it's the T2 game we should have had back in our youth.
So let's just go off of this trailer. For one, great trailer. This gives us exactly what we want. No lame announcement that doesn't actually show any gameplay or anything like that. This shows us some meat, shows us the gameplay, and we get a really good taste of what the game is probably going to be like, along with a release date. In all of that, I have nothing but praise for it. We rarely see announcement trailers that do this, so this looks like a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up game. The focus seems to only be on Terminator 2. What I like is that, like a good movie tie-in game, it's then showing parts from the film and then letting us experience that, while at the same time expanding on those parts too. For example, it looks like there are future war stages. What a great addition to have in this game. Playing as Kyle Reese, I'm assuming. Then, at least right now, there are two other playable characters, with Sarah Connor and the T-800. They seem to share similar gameplay, along with some unique stuff that might give us some nice and appreciated flavors for the different levels. I am wondering a lot about this game, and we know it has Terminator 2 for sure, but I wonder if Terminator 1 will be roped into this as well, either through flashbacks or maybe even have bonus levels that you can earn throughout the game. Because having the part with the future war, well, my guess is that it's Kyle Reese. I could be wrong. It could actually be John Connor instead.
We developed a custom sort of engine system. We call it an abstraction engine, and that enables us to do really wide porting of the games to different platforms. So not only targeting modern platforms, but also all the retro platforms. So it's very specialised in dealing with all the different assets, be that graphics or audio.
It looks like a delightful side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. And I'm assuming with the use of the music within the trailer, they got the license for all of the music, especially the theme. You need that if you're making a game on it. If you don't have that, you're missing part of the identity of the series. I do like, in the case of the expanded levels, that we'll be playing as Sarah, especially while she is in the mental facility. And one brief part where she gets caught by the T-1000. That seems like maybe there will be some sort of cat and mouse type of gameplay there. I wonder if that mission or any others will feature any sort of stealth mechanics as you try to dodge and avoid him. Or maybe it's a combination of stealth and using what weapons you have to just slow him down for a while. The cutscenes look great as well with the art. This entire thing looks like a labor of love. Like it was made by the fans for the fans, that type of situation. This is exactly what Terminator fans are happy about with this one. The play on calling it No Fate is kinda funny. Maybe it's a jab at Dark Fate, because that movie was so awful. I know it might seem silly with all these games coming out, especially with the bigger titles that I don't really care about, and more so, I want this Terminator game. This smaller, more delightful game is exactly what it looks like here, and I'm all here for it.
I'm Henk Dieborg, art director and pixel artist from Bitmap Bureau. I took on the future war levels in our game, which are action-packed run-and-gun missions with many iconic enemies and vehicles. We also have the HK Centurion as a boss, which isn't present in any of the movies. The First time seeing your HK Centurion boss appear from behind the collapsing building in game was just excellent.
So on top of the trailer, we also got a nice bit that was also dropped following the trailer, with some behind the scenes type of stuff for the new Terminator game, right from the developers. This right here, nice, simple, to the point, focused on the game. Not some pretentious garbage where the developers are talking about trying to portray anything going on within current political or the social landscape. What the developers talked about was the game, the world of Terminator, the film of Terminator 2. It felt so grounded watching something like this, like a video or a project made by a set of fans that happened to have a skill set within the gaming space. They mentioned that the title is a love letter to the film, and how this is a game that should have come out when the original movie came out so many years ago. Well, I have not played the game yet, but from the footage and what the developers chose to talk about, well, I'm getting more and more excited for this title. They seem to be saying and well doing the right things as it pertains right here. Something else I like is how they took good looks at the film and saw that just one gameplay style really wasn't going to fit at all, especially if they wanted to capture all the iconic parts from the movie. For example, they mentioned that the future war parts are highly inspired by the likes of something like Contra, whereas any of the chase sequences will be something different, and the developers need to keep all of this in mind when building the game. It wasn't a one type of gameplay style that would work for everything. From a player's perspective, I think this is going to bring a lot of variety, while also trying to capture all the big moments from the film. This Terminator project is targeting all major platforms, which is good, and now you know you can pretty much play it anywhere. And also too, they're trying to get that difficulty just right, provide that challenge and opportunity to teach the player as they go along. Lastly, something else that they mentioned at the end of the video is that money is not the focal point of the project. The developer was discussing how this was about making and then playing something that they would actually want to play themselves, and if they ended up making some money along the way, that would also be great too. But the focus seems to be on the property, doing it justice, and making a fun game. That right there, that's a big fan.
We just enjoy what we do, and yeah, if we find success and make a few quid, that's great. It's not really what drives us. Yeah, we just want to make games that we enjoy ourselves, and hope there's an audience out there who wants to do the same.
So yeah, my prior video may not have been the most well-timed, but I'm glad that we are getting something like this. You look at the current gaming landscape and see what fans want, what they're asking for, and with so many options within the industry right now, we do not need titles that are always going for the biggest type of thing. Sometimes a project that takes on an older style, an older gameplay style and design, is exactly the type of stuff we need right now. An arcade game that takes us back to the 80s and 90s, us reliving an old favorite, and are able to then enjoy it in a new way with this game. All of you watching know my bias, and know where I am as it pertains to Terminator stuff. I love this property, I love many of the films, and especially some of the games too. Terminator Resistance still remains one of my favorites, and I might need to revisit it between then and now with the release of this new one. Personally, if these developers are able to deliver on this project, I would love to see them tackle the first Terminator game as well. I think there is a lot to expand upon too with the Future War stuff, and then all the moments from that film as well. Then the next question is, if this Terminator game does well, plays well, and sells well, maybe that means more older properties can get the similar treatment. Side-scrolling Commando, Cobra, RoboCop, Tango and Cash, the list goes on and on. But as of right now, we have something very cool to look forward to this fall. What are your thoughts on all of this? Are you looking forward to this new Terminator game? Let me know all of this in the comments down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you can help to keep this channel going strong, and this allows me to be able to do more for my awesome audience. Please check out the links in the description and pinned comment for ways to support the channel. And most of all, thank you very much for watching.